Good morning. Today I will be leading you on a guided meditation as we come together, present in our seats, feeling our feet flat on the floor, grounding into Mother Earth, feeling our body supported in our chair, knowing that for the next few moments there is nothing for us to do but to be here now. As we come together in consciousness, in the one mind, knowing that wherever you are hearing my voice, we are together as one. As you allow your mind, feeling yourself fully present, open, alert, and aware, allowing your mind to begin to visualize yourself beginning to walk into a beautiful wooded forest, seeing the green all around you, smelling the smell of the pine, walking barefooted as you feel Mother Earth beneath you, feeling the soft of the leaves and the pine needles, smelling the smells of the pines, seeing the colors of the aspen trees as they begin to change in their beautiful, brilliant yellows and reds and orange, seeing them dance in the wind, in the breeze as they gently blow and they ripple with their effect in the blowing wind, feeling that wind as it crosses your body as you move further into the forest, hearing all of the sounds of the forest, many different birds all around you, hearing the chirp of squirrels as they frolic in the trees, everyone getting ready for fall, getting ready for the weather change, as you yourself begin to adapt to the new season that is upon us, and you continue to walk forward, feeling such connection with Mother Earth and nature, knowing that this is your truth, this is where you are from, you are surrounded by nature, you are immersed in nature, you are at one with Mother Nature, and you take a deep cleansing breath in, breathing it all in, and letting it go. Letting everything go on the out-breath. Taking another breath in to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And letting go to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Becoming peaceful and relaxed. You see a beautiful, grand oak tree right above you, right in front of you. And you begin to move in that direction as you come upon it and decide to take a little break in its shelter. As you sit down, leaning your spine in alignment with the base of the tree trunk fully supporting you, as you sit for a moment of rest and to further indulge in the senses of nature all around you. And you just sit, leaning against the tree, feeling the life force as it surges up through the trunk of the tree, up into the leaves and branches of the tree, and maybe a few leaves fall upon you as you sit there, as this oak tree begins to change for fall as well. You sit enjoying the breeze, hearing the flow of a gentle moving brook very near to you, hearing the water as it flows along the rocks, moving along. And you begin to notice as you look into the meadow in front of you, the open, sunny meadow beyond the shadow and the shade of the tree that you're sitting under. You notice someone entering into that meadow, and you begin to observe and notice who that is approaching you. And you recognize it as someone that you once knew, maybe current, maybe a long time ago, who you have unfinished business with, who maybe you departed in the relationship, parting with disharmony and separation, that you would like to heal today. And you see this person coming to you, and you decide to get up from your place in the forest, up from your seated position, and you begin to approach them, and you notice one another. No words are needed. It is an energetic transfer of energy as you both look upon one another, greeting and accepting the other into this space and into this time. And you embrace. And in this embrace, you feel the golden white light of Christ consciousness, the healing light encircling both of you, emanating from both of you as you come together as one, allowing any bygones from the past to simply melt away, gone to another point in time that no longer serves for today. And so you feel that sense of healing, and you feel deep gratitude for the opportunity to make things right. And this can even be a person who is deceased, that maybe you departed on bad terms, and you just want them to know that you do not want things to be left unsaid and unspoken. And so you take this golden opportunity and you embrace it with all of your being, and you embrace the other person with all of your being, and you share truth, and you share love, and you share light. And so you begin to see another person approaching, and you begin to open yourself up to this person. And so you begin another opportunity given, another opportunity seized, as you take this in your meditation, and you allow as many people as you would like to come into this healing light with you as you mend these relationships, so that you may move forward in your wholeness and your fullness, untethered by unspoken words. So I invite you to continue forward, bringing in whoever it is that your heart needs to bring in, that your consciousness says is the right person in the right circumstances. And so I invite you to continue with your meditation. So bringing your awareness back, you come back into the space, feeling thankful and grateful for the opportunity that you have just had, feeling so full of love and grace and the blessings of the release that you have just provided yourself in the forgiveness and the release of this experience today. You feel full of gratitude, full of love, full of life, and full of light. As you release this, knowing that it goes with you today and every day, and knowing that at any time you choose, you can once again step into this healing light and choose love, and choose forgiveness, and choose grace. And I release my words with such beautiful gratitude as you move forward with your day, as I say, and so it is.
Good morning, Amani. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for our Sunday experience. And so now we have a special guest artist to bring us our opening song. Please join me in welcoming Leah Morris.
So I opened up the Singing the Living Journey, the Teal Songbook in the UU and UU affiliated communities. And I wanted to learn this song, Open the Window. And I started to sing it. And then I realized that the composer is this wonderful, delightful woman who I had the chance to meet a couple of years ago. And so I reached out, and I should say it was a virtual meeting. We still haven't shared physical space, but Elise Witt has been gracious enough to make a version of herself and her rendition of how she hears this song, Open the Window. And I'm really excited to be singing with her and to hear more about her experience of coming into the song and interpreting it. And so Elise, take it away.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Elise Witt, and today I want to share with you an adaptation that I have made of the Sea Island spiritual called Heist the Window Noah. I call it Open the Window and Let the Dove Fly In, and we're going to do it with sign language. So if you make a windowsill and then let your window rise up, opening up. So this is open the window and then gather the children around. You have open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in, and just let your beautiful dove's wings fly. So that's the chorus. It goes like this. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. And that last line is our response. Whatever I sing to you, situations that need some opening for the dove to fly in, we answer, open the window, let the dove fly in. So here we go. Mama and Papa are fighting like snakes. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Baby is crying like her heart will break. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Chorus. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. 2 times. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. You know that neighbors lock their doors, build fences so high. Open the window, let the dove fly. Don't see what's to discover on the other side. Open the window, let the dove fly in. There's borders round countries, borders round the skies. Open the window, let the dove fly in. The only border close you in is the border around your mind. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Chorus. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Some people have money, some people have none. Open the window, let the dove fly in. What's the use of having money if your heart's gone numb? Open the window, let the dove fly in. Well, this big old world is in a great big mess. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Let's open the window, find peace and rest. Open the window, let the dove fly in. One more time on the chorus. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly. A little more. Open the window, let the dove fly. Now let's really sing it with all our gorgeous harmonies. Open the window, let the dove fly. Take a nice breath.
Thank you, Leah. It is so wonderful to have you back at the Amani Center virtually. We look forward to a day when we can bring you here into the space with us. So, my name is Marcy Mitchell. I am a practitioner here at the Amani Center, and it's my great honor and joy to welcome you to our Sunday experience this morning. This is our virtual Sunday, and so I'm so grateful for everyone who's tuning in to join us from wherever you're tuning in. Just drop a comment below. Tell us where you're coming from, especially if this is your first time. Let us know so that we can welcome you as part of the Amani community. We're very glad you're here. Very glad that everyone who tunes in every week is here. It's just good to be with you. So we like to begin by reading our vision statement, and so we're going to bring that up on the screen. And if you'll read it aloud with me. We are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And so that's something that we take very seriously here at the Amani Center. We have a lot of ways that we accomplish that vision. We have our Sunday experience, which you are taking part in right now. We have classes, we have workshops, we have changes of the season that we do in ritual, in community, on our patio, and just a lot of ways that you can participate with this Amani community and be one with spirit and with all of us. So stay tuned. I'm going to have some announcements in a little bit. I'll tell you some of the specific things that are going on right now, but you are always welcome to be here. And one other thing that we do that's very important and very impactful is our Amani Circle of Light. So we have a team of practitioners and ministers who are here to know the truth for you and with you. And so you can reach out to the Amani Circle of Light anytime, including right now. You can drop a comment right now that you would like someone to reach out to you, and a practitioner or minister will reach out. And you can have a conversation about what you'd like to bring into your life, what you're trying to put down, what do you want to manifest, what are you grateful for, and we will do treatment with you. We do a 5-step affirmative prayer treatment. It is powerful, it works, and it's an honor for us to do it. When we do it, we lift ourselves as well as you. So if you're thinking about maybe reaching out, please do. You are giving a gift to us as well as to yourself. So please reach out. You can also email us or call us, or there's also a Book Now button on Facebook you can use to book treatment. All right, let's take a few moments and go through our announcements. So this is the first Sunday in February, And right now we are, as I said, remaining in a live stream only status. The numbers are changing so rapidly that our board is taking a moment to kind of watch the numbers and see if and when we'll be returning to the space in the month of February. So please stay tuned. We'll send out an e-blast. It will be on our social, and we'll let you know as soon as we're back. But keep watching virtually one way or the other. And so again, for February, this is our theme. It is One World, One Heart, and that's a good February theme. We begin today with the wonderful Yuli Lagakis, who is one of our practitioners here at the Amani Center. She's a favorite speaker, just a wonderful, wonderful individual. So you're in for a treat today. Next week, we have our wonderful Reverend Pixie DeFore, followed the following week by Mitch Austin, and then we always close our month out with the wonderful Reverend Sherry Wynn. So please do join us for all of our Sunday talks. So again, this is our speaker today, Yuli Lagakis, and the amazing Leah Morris is bringing her musical talents. We've had Leah here before. She is incredibly talented. She's a gifted songwriter and singer and musician. So grateful to have you here today, Leah. And we have a wonderful program that is beginning this month on the 22nd. That is Rise and Speak, and that is led by our own ministerial intern, Mitch Austin. This is an incredibly engaging and powerful class that I really encourage you to jump into. I am not sure how many spots are left. It's limited. There's only 9 people allowed in, and last I heard there was, I believe, 3 or 4 seats left. So if you're interested in doing this, please do reach out, ask your questions, or just go ahead and go to our website and sign up. You're going to get some guidance on how to craft and deliver your message, your story, and then you will get to present it at a live performance here at the Amani Center in April. It's powerful. You're going to make some incredible relationships and really build community and really dig into some defining moments in your life and get to share that. So please do sign up. And we also have our annual meeting coming up. So that will be at the end of this month on the 27th. It will be after our Sunday experience. And this is our potluck Sunday, the last Sunday of the month. We have our kids program. We do potluck. And we will be doing this annual meeting. So it's a chance to ask questions. It's a chance to find out what's planned for the Amani Center for 2022. It's going to be a powerful year of the tiger. We've got this. So show up, be part of the collaborative environment that we are creating here at Amani. Bring your ideas, bring your questions, bring a dish to share, and we will see you on the 27th. And we have found an Afghan family in need of help. And so this has been an intention of the Amani Center to help a immigrant family, particularly during this very trying time with the situation that has occurred over the last year in Afghanistan. There is a mother with 4 children who has recently come to Sacramento with basically the clothes on their back, and they need pretty much everything. So our wonderful Jeremy Olson is coordinating this drive. His phone number is there, his email. Reach out to Jeremy. If you missed the email or phone number, you can reach out to us and we'll get you connected. They need everything. Right now they're asking for kitchen items. They're looking for a carpet, a vacuum cleaner, pillows, furniture, whatever you've got. Let's see if we can help this family out. And so thank you very much for that. Let's take a moment now and bless the service. So wherever you are, you just put your feet flat on the floor so you can ground in. If there's anything in your lap, just set it aside. Sit up nice and straight. And if you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close as you receive that cleansing breath in, allowing it to fill your lungs and belly, and at your own pace, releasing that breath as we drop into this sacred moment, focusing all of our attention on the now. Each and every one of us is connected completely to the divine, lifted, supported, guided, held. And in this moment, we focus on that connection and know that everything is well. Everything in our lives, everything on the planet, no matter what it looks like, it is all unfolding divinely. And I know that today's Sunday experience also unfolds divinely. The wonderful music of Leah Morris, the beautiful message of Yuli. I know that the technology cooperates, the sound is just right, and everyone who tuned in today, who listened to that small voice that said, this is where you need to be right now, they hear exactly what they need to hear. There is a good reason for you saying yes, and you are rewarded for showing up. And so I am so grateful for this truth. I'm grateful to know that the divine is always unfolding for each and every one of us, and that we have only to turn towards it and say yes, and be open to the good that is ours. And so I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done. It is already unfolding in the most opulent and joyful way for my good and the good of the planet. And together we say, and so it is. And so now it's time for our affirmation. We're going to bring that up on the screen so that you can speak it with me. We're going to speak it 3 times. The first time I will say it with energy and enthusiasm. The second time, and you'll say it as well, the second time we'll bring it down into a whisper and into our hearts. We'll say it again. And then the third time, please join me mentally as I speak it aloud. Today's affirmation is brought to us by the one and only Brené Brown. Let's begin. I let go of what I think I'm supposed to be, and I embrace who I am. I let go of who I think I'm supposed to be, and I embrace who I am. I let go of who I think I'm supposed to be, and I embrace who I am. And together we say, and so it is. And so now it is my great pleasure to introduce Leah Morris again to do our pre-meditation song.
Keep your heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around. You gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. I'm gonna keep my heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open. Though these waves wanna though they want me around, though the waves wanna push me around, I'm gonna keep my heart. I'm gonna keep wide open. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open till my faith brings me back to solid ground. Until my faith brings me back to solid ground. We gotta keep our heart. We gotta keep wide open. We gotta keep our hearts wide open. Though these waves wanna push us around, although these waves wanna push us around, we gotta keep our heart. We gotta keep wide open till our faith brings us back to solid ground. Till our faith brings us back to solid ground. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, and so now it is our time of meditation. So again, putting your feet flat on the ground, sitting up nice and straight, and if it feels comfortable, allowing your eyes to close as you receive that cleansing breath in. And at your own pace, releasing it. And let's do 3 deep, purposeful breaths as we become fully present in this moment. Getting centered, tuning into the divine, and becoming present. When we take this moment, this divine, sacred moment, to get still, we can only be blessed by the truth of our connection to the One, to Spirit, to the universe, to God, to nature, to Allah, to whatever word you use for that inner knowing, that higher power, that ultimate energy and divinity that is here for you and acts through you. And so right now, we take a moment to reflect on our hearts and our wholehearted nature. Every day we have a choice how we will show up on the planet. And so what we know is true is that when we show up in a wholehearted, authentic way, a way that is open and loving and receptive to all the good that comes to us and through us, we can only have our best experience. We can only be blessed, and we can only bless others. Because when we are living from this place of wholehearted openness, love, connection, kindness, then there is no fear, and there is certainly no hate. And so we can only reflect this loving, open mentality to everyone we encounter. And that just must be a big part of our purpose on the planet. To be open, to be loving, and to reflect that out to everyone else. So let's take a moment to go into meditation and meditate on how this experience of wholeheartedness shows up in our own lives and how we can be a part of this unfoldment on the planet. Enjoy your meditation. And now, staying in this place of inner contemplation and pure open-heartedness, we go into a divine intention. So last week we tried this, and I'd like to do it again. Take a moment to think about what your highest intention is right now. It could be for the day. It could be for the week. It could be for the year. It could be an intention for how to show up for your whole life, or something you want to see manifest, something you want to release. Whatever your heart is calling you toward right now, form this intention. And in just a moment, I'll ask you to speak it aloud. And when all of us are speaking it aloud into the universe, there is an energy shift. And the universe can only respond. And it can only respond with yes. So now, wherever you are, you can whisper it, you can speak it, you can shout it. Speak your intention. And as these intentions are spoken into the universe, I feel the expansion of the energy. And I know that these intentions are setting in motion right now, setting the law into motion. And so it is that they can only manifest. This is how the universe works. This is how the law works. And so I am so grateful for this truth. I'm grateful for all this good that is being spoken and is unfolding right now for everyone in this community and everyone across the planet. Human, animal, plant, and the earth itself. Grateful to know all is well and unfolding so beautifully. And so I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done, and as you speak it, it is already done. And all is truly well. And together we say, and so it is. So now we have another song from the wonderful Leah Morris.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are. Return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again, return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again. Return again. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are. Born and reborn again.
Thank you so much, Leah. Again, so wonderful to have you here at the Amani Center. And now it is my great honor, my great joy to introduce today's wonderful speaker. I always refer to her big brain, but she has an equally huge heart. My friend and a friend of Amani, Yuli Lagakis.
Good morning, Amani. I'm glad to be joining you virtually today. I'd just like to take a moment to thank everyone who is helping out with the technology and with the service, and a special thanks to Leah Morris, who is our musical guest for this service today. She's beautiful and awesome, and her music always uplifts. So honored to be in the same bill with her. So just wanting to do the shout out. Thank yous. So that coming from a wholehearted space. And so today we're talking about the wholehearted spirit. And I kind of connecting with the theme of the month being the heart, one world, one heart, and living from a wholehearted space is a big thing. It is a beautiful thing to think about. I like to think of being wholehearted because that honors all aspects of who we are and what the heart is about. It's not just the organ that pumps blood through your system. There is way more to the heart than we know. And so let's spend some time talking about it. First of all, I'd like to start off with some fun facts about the heart. So the heart is the first fully functioning organ in the fetus. So when a child is conceived and begins to go down the fallopian tube and attaches to the uterus and continues to split the cells and all that, the fetus, or the embryo fetus, develops as it is laid out by genetics. There's no brain guiding the development. It is all just genetic kind of sequencing of processes, right? And so the first fully functioning organ is the heart. It is responsible for pumping nutrients throughout the body, and so it is the first functioning organ. That being said, I have a little theory. Now, my theory, I haven't found any science to back it up, but I believe that because it is the first fully functioning organ, part of its point is to pump the blood and the nutrients to the different aspects of the fetus as the fetus unfolds and develops. I also think that's where the soul resides. It's just a theory, my theory, because it is the first fully functioning organ, and it's an independent organ. It has its own kind of battery, like charge. And it also has, those of us who have studied heart math and Greg Braden's work know that there is a heart brain. So we have neurons in our brain. We have about 100 billion of them, right? And they're there pretty much since birth, and it's mostly the connections that matter, and that's a whole other talk. Mostly the connections that matter in the brain, not so much the actual cells. But our heart has about 40,000 neurons in it. Neurons are really, really tiny. So it's 40 to 50,000 neurons in the heart. And so the heart has its own brain. So the path from we talk about the path from the head to the heart being a long, long path, even though it's not, it really isn't. The brain lives in the heart. Part of the brain structures live in the heart. And so this is why when we are stressed and registering stress, we feel it in our heart. When we experience joy and happiness and deep connection, we don't only think about it, have it kind of a conscious thought experience and feelings, but we also feel that connection in our hearts. And so there's a reason for that. Another place where we have neurons is our gut. So that's another place where if you feel it in your gut, don't doubt that. You have some brain matter in your digestive tract. So when you say you feel something in your gut, you're probably right on. So honor that. Again, whole other talk. But staying focused on the heart and wholehearted living. So basically what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to go through a little bit to talk a little bit about the heart. I'm going to talk a little bit, we're going to talk about emotions, because emotions are our experience of the world. And a lot of those emotions are felt through and kind of, the conduit is the heart. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the spirituality and, there's the heart chakra, and how spiritually we take what we're experiencing and understanding about the heart and taking it into our souls. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some emotions. I'm drawing some of this information from Brene Brown's most current book on the Atlas of the Heart. It was kind of an inspiration for this talk. I hadn't picked up the book yet, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to use that as a reference, and I am. So I want to talk, she talks about emotions. The whole book is pretty much an atlas of how we experience emotions, how we process emotions, and what are some of the more positive ways that we can take these emotions. Because at their foundation, emotions are pieces of information. They're letting you know, they're letting you know something good is happening, when you are happy and feeling content and feeling some joy and bliss. There are good things. Those are positive emotions, and those are good things. And so good things are happening around you. You can relax, you can enjoy, you can connect, and it is a free feeling experience of just kind of being yourself and just being happy. And then there are some of the more negative emotions like anger and guilt and shame and fear. We're only going to touch on a few of those, but those are still also information. They let you know something is happening. And so we're going to talk about how to, be in those with those emotions and understand them in a healthier way. Okay, so let's talk first about, of course, love. Love is the primary emotion. And, A Course in Miracles and other religious spiritual writings have said that love is kind of it. Everything that we think about, everything that we experience can be boiled down to love, either a sense of love or a calling out for love. A Course in Miracles says that, everything is love. And if it's not like spiritually aware, if it's not love on the surface, it is a attempt to get love, to reach out for love. So so love, Brene defines love, and I like the way she defines it. She has two little quotes I want to share with you about love. So bear with me here as I read. We cultivate love when we allow our most vulnerable and powerful selves to be deeply seen and known, and when we honor the spiritual connection that grows from that offering with trust, respect, kindness, and affection. So breaking that down, when we are our most vulnerable, when we have the biggest experience of courage within ourselves, we have that potential to experience love. That is how we come together. When we become in those moments with someone else extremely vulnerable and come from a honest, deep space within ourselves of showing somebody else who we really are, and having that person having that experience of connection and being seen, that's love. That's like the purest, most beautiful form of love. And to have people in your lives or have experiences of having been seen is huge. We know that social rejection is very painful. Social rejection has been, ostracism, being rejected by others, whether it's an active rejection where people tell you, hey, I don't want to have you in my life. I don't want us to be in each other's lives right now. Or you are kind of isolated and you experience an inability to connect with others for whatever reason. That pain is equal to physical pain. There is no difference in that feeling. That the part of the brain that fires during social rejection and bullying is the same part of the brain that fires when we are experiencing physical pain. So it's important for us to understand that love is this pure kind of connection that we feel with another, having been completely vulnerable, having allowed ourselves to be seen, kind of being in a way, real and naked in a way, and not physically naked, you know what I mean? Like, vulnerable and not putting up any masks, just being who you really are. And I have to tell you, I'm very, very blessed to have people in my life where I have been at my most vulnerable and been seen and accepted and loved and cherished in that space. And so that hasn't always been the case. And so I have experienced social rejection and bullying in my past. And so to have the experience, I feel so very blessed. And so, and here at the Amani Center, that's what we do. We are a place where you can be safe, where you can be seen, where it is, we see beyond and we see you. Because when we see you, we see ourselves. Namaste is, the soul in me sees the soul in you. The love in me sees the love in you. And so there is this kind of, experience of being seen. And this experience of oneness that we talk about at the center is deep, because if there is, okay, there is this sense of oneness. We are one. We are in, but feeling it is a very different experience. Knowing it cognitively and feeling it is very different. That's why I'm looking forward to coming back in the space. And for those of you who haven't been in the space for a while, really come and join us, because we are a loving, squishy, just open community where you can feel this connection with someone else. The other piece that I want to talk about, the other part of the quote that Brene talks about with love, and I wanted to kind of split those two up. The second piece is this: love is not something we give or get. It is something that we nurture and grow. Okay, so you guys know I can't see that well, so I'm looking at my notes. A connection, okay, so let me start over. Love is not something we give or get. It is something that we nurture and grow. A connection that can be cultivated between two people only when it exists within each one of them. We can love others only as much as we love ourselves. That is that last key piece. We can only love others as much as we love ourselves. And, some people, and I'm sure you've heard this before. And one of the ways that I like to explain this is that love is a language. Love is many things. Okay, love is a practice, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Love is also a language. And if you don't kind of speak to yourself in that way and hold yourself in that high regard, of you being, let's just get real here. We are all expressions of God on this planet. We are the, according to science of mind, we are God. God is experiencing himself or herself through us. We are direct extensions of the Christ consciousness, and we live and breathe and have our being in this Christ God consciousness. And so we are all one, and we know that God is precious and beautiful, and this beautiful, giving, loving energy. And we are that. So we can't not love ourselves. It's really kind of, if you say you love God and you love spirit and you are in this place of wholeness, then that extends to you. You are an expression of God, and you deserve nothing more or nothing less than that sense of self-cherishing and self-compassion. We make mistakes. We are not perfect. We are souls in these human bodies, right? And so we just need to get to that place where, as much as we are connected to spirit, we are spirit. And so we live, breathe, and have our being in this spirit. So I want to talk about love as an emotion, and it is an emotion. It is so many other things, though. Love, to me, is a practice. It's a practice. And what I mean by that is that it is how I live my life. It is how if I have a decision to make, I come from a place of love. I speak, for the most part, from a place of love. And it's a practice. So, waking up, and part of the love practice is also incorporating a practice of gratitude. Because when we talk about happiness, so we're going to talk about some of the positive emotions here all together. So love and joy and happiness and bliss and all those things happen within the context of this kind of overarching definition of what we see when we talk about love, what Brene says here about love. And there are many definitions of love. But when we come from it as a practice, it's what guides us. You wake up in the morning and, it's like, okay, so what's my day going to be like today? What is it going to include? And it comes from a place of love. So if I love myself, and I do, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to eat decent food, not always. But I'm going to move. I'm going to move my body. I'm going to take my medication, my vitamins. I'm going to nourish myself. I'm going to do some journaling and meditation, because not only are those things good for me, but they're also good for the world. They're also good for the environment I'm in. So it's not just about taking care of me for me. It's about taking care of me as part of the whole, as honoring myself and healing myself, because I know that since I am part of the one, part of the oneness with a capital O, healing myself doesn't just heal me. It vibrates out. It's, we're a drop in the ocean, which means we are the ocean. And so as that drop in the ocean, you want to be that best drop of the ocean that there is. You want to be the healthiest, have the healthiest compound of ocean, be the healthiest, expression of that. Because if we all strive for that, then we have a healthier, more vibrant, more uplifted, higher vibrational ocean type experience, right? So that is where I come from. I come from gratitude. I come from love. Because so part of the research on gratitude is this. So gratitude, there's a lot of talk about gratitude, and it's very important. But one of the things that I came across that I thought was awesome about gratitude was that, okay, when we're happy and we're good with happiness, right? We're kind of going along, and we're, the tendency towards feeling happy has an inherited experience, like a genetic, predisposition. You're genetically predisposed to either be more of an optimist or more of a pessimist, right? So you go along and maybe something bad happens and you dip down. And what happens over time? No more than 2 years usually. You come back up and you run along that same pathway, where you normally run. You win the lottery or something really good happens. Bam, you go up and then you come back down within a little bit of time, and it becomes, oh yeah, yeah, I won the lottery, so what? I have a big house, okay, big deal, it's nice, whatever. So that's we kind of have we revert to our mean is what we call it, reverting to our mean. So we go back and we are kind of where we were before. So what the research shows is that if we engage in gratitude, we don't become so complacent with our happiness. So if we're just wake up in the morning, and I woke up this morning, it's like, oh my God, I'm so grateful the sun is out, and and I like it when it's overcast too, so I get joy around that. I feel good today, and I'm going to be recording my talk, and I've been preparing and putting things together, and so yay, I get to do this today, and probably going to go out to dinner with some friends tonight. Yay, that's so cool. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have where I live. I'm so happy to be where I'm at. I'm so grateful for, my job. I love my job. I love the work I do outside my job. I just, I am feeling very blessed and very grateful. And so when we get into that place, we kind of blip up on that kind of happiness scale. We're not taking what we have for granted. And it could be something really small, like, hey, I am just so happy that, when I'm done with this talk, I'm going to have my cup of coffee. Yay, So it could be little things, and it sounds silly, but what being in gratitude does for us is it extends and kind of turns up the volume on the good things in our lives. And the other piece of that is that gratitude becomes a magnet for more. So when you are grateful, you kind of create this energy of welcoming, so you'll notice opportunities that show up to be happy more, other ways in which you can experience happiness and joy and love, so looking at these things. So it's important, to have this kind of experience of wholeheartedness, to just be in the moment and really relish in what is happening in your life. And again, it could be really tiny, like, oh my God, it could be really small. I'm trying to think, like, oh, I just got a text from a really good friend of mine I haven't talked to in a while. That's such a blessing, so it could be really little things, and it could be, but just noticing and expressing really lifts your heart. You'll notice that when you're in gratitude, not just writing passively in a gratitude journal, feeling that gratitude, being in the essence of the space of gratitude. That's why when we do spiritual mind treatment, one of our second to last step is gratitude, because we really are. That is such a high vibrational emotion and experience to truly, to truly feel grateful for what you have and how you live is just wonderful. All right, so that's kind of the positive piece around emotion. So some of what we call negative emotions, some of what we call negative emotions, I'm trying to get my watch to see how much time I've been on here, so I can gauge my time. Okay. So some of the negative emotions I'm going to talk about, some of the more primal or primary negative emotions are fear and anger. So talk about anger first here. Let's see what I have. So anger is an active emotion, right? So when you are angry, you feel like you need to do something. You have to express, you have to do, you have to move, okay? And so here's the piece with anger. So at the foundation of all emotions, they are a message that something is going on, that something needs your attention. When you are feeling love, it is about something positive, something wonderful, something that feels really great is happening. Happiness, you're comfortable, you're not stressed, things are good, you're just, in this kind of zone of things being chill and good, right? So anger is some boundary has been crossed. Something has happened that does not agree with me. And so we do one of two things with anger. We can do one of three things. Okay, there are three things we do with anger. We can do with anger. One, we suck it up. We deny it. We internalize it, and that makes us sick. That leads to high blood pressure, okay, with the heart, hypertension, other stressors as well. But the heart takes the hit when we internalize, okay, when we suck it up, when we stuff it down, when we don't talk about it and we don't deal with it in a healthy way, it hurts our heart. When we externalize and we get angry, then we are less effective, because it's like people are dismissive when people are angry. It's like, oh my God, they're just throwing a fit, just so emotional, just, God, you take things so personally, so you don't always get the best response you can get when you lash out and express your anger in a kind of heat of the moment kind of way. So one of the things that I do in many of my communications with people is, and my friends have learned this, is I take a moment, I put my finger up and I got this from Reverend Cherry, by the way, and I take a moment, I just say, give me a second to process. So I don't react I respond. I don't react. I take a moment to process what's happening. And that's a gift I give myself and to the other person. Because if I say the first thing that comes to my mind, it probably isn't the best. So if you take a moment, even if it's like 2-3 seconds, to just sit back and respond more from a healthier place, then the anger is telling you something isn't right in your environment. So it allows for you to speak from a place of courage and come from a place of love and say, what just happened right here? It upset me because I feel that a boundary got crossed, and I'm not okay with what you just said. Let's talk about it. That's courage. That comes from love. That comes from a place of wanting to make things better. So anger fuels change, but it isn't the change. Okay, so you can get angry, and anger is a valid emotion. Okay, so it's not like, oh, people shouldn't get angry. No. It is a sign and it's a signal that something is not right in your environment, that a boundary has been crossed. Your responsibility is taking that information and looking at it for what it's trying to tell you. Okay, sit with it. What is your anger about? What is it rooted? And oftentimes it is because, a boundary got crossed, or you did not get heard, or, your who you are is not, however you see it. It's a social justice thing. You're seeing, anger around some of the circumstances in our world today. And yes, you can get angry, and yet what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that information? That's where the question lies. And the same I have to say with fear. Fear is a sign that something isn't right in your environment. Okay, it is a sign that there could be. So fear can have. Let's see here. Okay, little psychology here. So fear is so there's a part of your brain, in your brain, not the heart brain, but your brain, called the amygdala, and it is responsible for remembering things that cause you fear. Because the next time you encounter that, you might not survive. So fear is in the amygdala's kind of mindset, literally, is everything is black bear running at you. Okay, so it could be a bad grade for you that causes fear. It could be a job interview that you're anxious about, but your brain just sees black bear, and it's that serious. And so it remembers it and reminds you of the emotions that you felt at the time, so that you can take action and get away from the black bear running at you. So let's take fear as it has a message to tell you. Something is disrupting your environment. Something could be a threat to your safety. And for the most part, in our world, in the world that we live in, yes, there are some things that you can feel a physical threat around. And so if you're in a neighborhood that isn't great, and you're feeling your spidey sense is telling you that you need to get away, then that is something to listen to. But a lot of times our fears are triggered by environmental, emotional things. So I'm going to read a quote here from Harriet Lerner. She's one of my favorite other kind of psychology rock stars, and she wrote a book called The Dance of Fear, which I absolutely love. She has a book called The Dance of Anger, The Dance of Connection. So she's a wonderful, prolific writer, and I love what she writes about fear. And this is pivotal for me, and we're going to kind of unpack this. It is not fear that stops you from doing the hard and true thing in your daily life. Rather, the problem is avoidance. You want to feel comfortable, so you avoid doing or saying the thing that will evoke fear and other difficult emotions. Avoidance will make you feel less vulnerable in the short run, but it will never make you less afraid. And that's the key part at the end. Avoidance feeds anxiety. Okay. So, in my classes, for example, I talk about, I have a little, because it's psychology, right? So I have a little kind of difficult topic warning. I have a recommendation. I just basically say, look, I'm going to be recording lectures, and if something difficult is going to come up, I will give you kind of a trigger warning, like, hey, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be talking about X. And so if you don't want to hear it, fast forward. However, here's my caveat. I invite you to listen, to engage with the conversation, because avoidance feeds anxiety. And so I will speak about a topic in a very kind and gentle way. And you might get some important and valuable information that helps you deal with this challenge that you may be facing in your life in a healthy way. So information is power. Knowledge is key to moving forward and becoming better people, whether it's better employees, better friends, better lovers, whatever it is. So I invite you to listen, because you might gain some insight as to what is this thing that has been challenging you all this time and has been fed by avoidance. So again, fear has a signal. It tells us important things to deal with, and yet I'm inviting you to push past your fear, because how you will feel will be incredibly awesome. Okay, so those are emotions that we feel in our heart, and all the other emotions. There's like 90 plus words for emotions, and they're different levels and different types, and there's positive and negative, and there's high level and like high intensity and low intensity emotions, and we feel all those from our heart, in our heart, and experience them in our heart, even though we're cognitively so processing information, and then we feel some emotion about it. All of that is coming through and from our heart. And so I want to take us into the more spiritual space now. When we talk about the heart, I want to talk about the heart as the heart chakra itself. So interesting, as I did some research, is that the heart, so there's 7 chakras, right? So you have the earthbound chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra, right? Those are kind of our earthbound, physically linked chakras, right? Then you have the heart chakra, and then above the heart chakra, you have these chakras that are more kind of from a spiritual space. Your throat, your third eye, and your crown are more kind of taking us into that spiritual realm. And the heart is the bridge. And so when we talk about a bridge takes us from one place to another. A bridge is, you cross, it's a crossover. It's an experience of moving from one space to another. And so we are constantly doing that. We're constantly, living in this planet, doing what we need to do to live and exist here. The daily things, the work, the errands, the bills, the money, whatever. We're doing all those things. And yet part of our experience also is, especially those of us, who are really kind of spiritual seekers, live in and express ourselves and experience ourselves more and more, hopefully, through this spirit, in the spiritual plane, connecting to ourselves as spirit, to the God within, to living from an emotionally positive place, from an uplifting, hopeful place. And that's the spirit. That's that, believing in things you cannot see, knowing that, noticing the small miracles that happen in your life from day to day, and experiencing those and being in a place of gratitude and happiness around those wonderful things that happen. And so our heart it has a big responsibility, because it is that transition point from kind of the earth-based to the, health-based. So I want to finish this talk with a little bit of, like nurturing our heart chakra. And, people talk about, eating well and exercise, and those things are important. But yet, to honor our heart, to help our heart be a better bridge from the earth to the spirit realm, there's heart chakra yoga I did not know. So on YouTube, it was really good, actually. Heart chakra yoga. There are definitely ways that you can accentuate and strengthen that bridge, so that it is easier to go from one to the other and experience life from our heart, because it is the life force within us. It is what pumps blood, but also helps us experience the world more fully, helps us see ourselves and everything around us in a grander, more holy way. And so breath work, taking deep breaths, is important. I like the diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And knowing that your heart is always there, knowing and honoring it, being grateful for it. I will sometimes in meditation put my hands on my chest and say, thank you, heart. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for loving me when I don't love myself. Thank you for caring for me even when I'm not noticing. Knowing that I don't tell you to beat, but you beat anyway. I know that you are there. I know that there is spirit within that supports me and has my best interest at heart, literally. I know that my heart will always tell me truth, that when I open up myself to the message of my heart, that is a very different message than I get from my head. Our head has that inner critic, that ego space, but our heart is our spirit. It is where we live from, honestly, truly. If you ask your heart what is best for you, it will never criticize you. It will never tell you negative. It will always tell you truth. Because I really do think, the more I think about it, that's where our soul resides, because that's where our truth comes from, our big truth, that's where, if you come from decisions from your heart, really nurturing that communication with your heart is pivotal to really knowing and living from your soul space, as opposed to the head space, right? Your head is kind of the ego and your heart is your soul. And I'm not anti-ego. The ego has its purpose, but let's get the ego and the soul to communicate and be on the same page with us, so that we can move forward and live a life that is more wholehearted. Thank you, Amani.
Thank you, Yuli. It is always wonderful to have you speaking from the heart and from your big brain here at the Amani Center. We love you and we appreciate you. And so now it is our joyful time of giving. And so, especially during the pandemic, we have worked hard to create a number of digital ways that you can give, so that even when you're not in the room, you can still support the Amani Center, support your community, be part of the good work that is happening here, and in the community, as we do tithe out to our community as well. And so we're going to bring up a number of ways that you can give on the screen. You can text the word Amani to 44321. That will lead you through how to give. You can hit the donate button that's on our newsletter and our email blasts. There's also a donate button on our website, theamanicenter.org. You can use your bank app to set up a recurring check either every week or every month or every day, whatever feels good to you. And you can also just put a check in the mail to us. If you want to go old school, drop it in the mail to the Amani Center at 2558 Greenwood Lane, Suite Number D in Cameron Park, California, 95682. We are also dropping a link right now. So look down, you should see a link and you can use that to donate. However you choose to give to the Amani Center, we are just so grateful for you. And just know that we truly can't do it without you. So thank you so much. And I want to tell you also about something you're going to see when you return to the space, and that is these I Am an Online Giver cards. So we've created these for all the people, more and more, especially after our pledge drive, we have people giving in some sort of online manner. So it's coming out automatically or they've set something up. And so when they're in the space and the basket comes around, they don't have a way to show that they actually are giving. So these cards are now in the seat backs. If you're here on a Sunday, and what we would like you to do is take one of these cards out, and when we're blessing the tithes and asking people to put their gift over their heart, you can put this card over your heart. You can speak the blessing, and then you can place it in the basket when it comes around. There is an energy in taking this action. It's almost like a sacred mudra that you do to show that you support this community. And so you'll see those when you come back. So I look forward to seeing everybody pull these out when it's time to give. So now is the time when you will take your check, or if you were in the space, your card, and let's bless those tithes and offerings. So whatever you're giving, just hold your hand over your heart and know that we are all connected to the divine, and there is only one flow that is happening. It is utter opulence and abundance, and there is always more than enough for everyone. When we participate in the flow by giving into it, more comes to us. That is just how it works. And as my dear friend Reverend Angie always says, you cannot outgive God. The more you give, the more you will receive, the more you will uplift this community and your community, your family, and the world. So I know this is true, and I am so grateful to everyone who participates in this circle of giving, in this circle of life, in this giving flow. I know that each and every one of you is blessed abundantly, as is the Amani Center, and I am just grateful for that. And so I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done. It is transforming lives as we speak. And so together we say, and so it is. And now we are blessed by another song by the wonderful Leah Morris.
This pretty planet spinning through space. You're a garden, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. Golden sun flowing down, gentle blue giant, spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light. This pretty planet spinning through space. You're a garden, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. This pretty planet, sun flowing through space. You're a garden, blue giant, you're a harbor, you're a holy place. Golden sun flowing down, gentle blue giant, spin us around. All through
right. And so that is our Sunday experience today. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a joy to have you here. Stand with us in your homes and let's sing The Presence is Here together.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
Amani, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for being part of the Amani experience and part of this community where we live our lives from a space of wholeheartedness, and we are in. We are in and we are doing our part. So thank you for being part of that. May you have a blessed week